Welcome to the Squad Show. I'm Sam Ekstrom. Today, I've got 3 controversial quarterback scenarios for this crew.
I'm Reggie Wilson, sports director at Care 11. Oh, man, JJ McCarthy, welcome back. You get the Lions.
I'm Ron Johnson, Gophers and NFL wide receiver, host of the Ron Johnson Show. And I think Max Brosmer might be starting at quarterback.
I'm Julia Daniels, Care 11 sports reporter. I like Ron's take there. Concerned about anyone that's going to be starting quarterback for the Vikings.
Skol! It's the Viking Squad. Everything Minnesota Vikings every week. Breaking down all the big hits and game-changing plays from the land of 10,000 lakes. The way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. It's time to gear up. The Viking Squad Show starts now.
And welcome into our Care 11 Viking Squad Show. On this Wednesday, we're so glad you're with us. We are streaming live the Locked On Vikings YouTube channel. Get our audio and the Locked On Vikings podcast feed. And hey, watch Care 11 with Julia Daniels and Reggie Wilson. Watch the Ron Johnson Show with Ron Johnson. We'd appreciate that. Today's show is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. On this show today, I've got 3 JJ McCarthy scenarios for the next 10-game sample size. You tell me how it impacts the plans going forward. We also, of course, will talk about the Lions. Lions are off a full-fledged bye. Vikings are off a mini bye. So who's going to be more prepared for this one? We'll talk about how the Lions have dominated KOC. They've dominated B-Flow. And the big breaking news, of course. Should I play the breaking news sounder for this? Does it deserve it? Is it worthy of it? Let's
go ahead.
John Wolford. John Wolford is the Vikings' 3rd quarterback. Not splashy, not sexy, not a big trade. It's John Wolford. He's got a KOC connection from the Rams days. Feels like he's the 3rd-string quarterback, probably on the practice squad. I don't think we need to spend much more time on John Wolford, but we should spend a lot of time on JJ McCarthy, who's going to be the quarterback on Sunday. He's back. Last played in week 2. So that sets up a 10-game sample size, if he's healthy. You get 10 games with McCarthy if he can play them all, and that will be the 10 games that decides kind of what the vision is into 2026. I'm going to give you some ways this could play out, and then we'll go around the horn. So Ron Johnson, let's start with sort of the median. JJ McCarthy goes 5-5 the next 10 games. Vikings miss the playoffs.
Okay.
Because they'd probably be 8-9. JJ throws 12 TDs, 8 picks. Pretty average. So he's an average quarterback for the next 10. How does that influence what you envision going into 2026?
So that's additional to what he's already done, right? So 12.
So he's 1-1 now. He would go 6-6 for the year, I guess. He finishes 5-5.
And then what is he? Because what is his touchdown interception ratio now? Is it 2-2?
He threw 2 against the Bears and then none against the Falcons. And he threw 2 picks and he threw a pick 6 against the Bears. So it'd be 2-3 right now.
Lord. Yep, you're right. So, he's currently 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 67 pass rate. So add 12 and 8 to that is what you're saying. So we're looking at 14 and 11. Oh my goodness, that is gross. And so my expectations from that would be Max Brosmer is going to be the starting quarterback in 2026 to start training camp. No. So to be honest, and I get a little bit annoyed. I'm not going to say names because I'm not going to. I was listening to the radio yesterday, and somebody was trying to explain what J.J. McCarthy has to do, like what Kevin O'Connell has to do. First answer was, well, they're going to start all over again and start with the quick game. What? This dude has been here for 2 years. They're not starting over. Like, he had an ankle sprain. He didn't get hit in the brain and forget football. Then he said the quarterback coach and the head coach want to keep him because he's coming off an ankle injury. They want to keep him out of 3rd and long situations. That's every quarterback. Every team wants to stay out of, like, If you don't know what you're talking about, sometimes don't talk football. Just talk what you know about what the team is doing, what KOC wants to. Don't try to like throw football at it because it sounds dumb. Like they want to keep him out of 3rd and long. Oh, so they didn't want to keep Carson Wentz out of third. They wanted to keep Carson Wentz out of everything, but they couldn't. So when you think about this, Sam, next year, honestly, I think there will be a quarterback like actual competition. If Max Brosmer gets to come in some of these games, if these are blowouts, I mean, because they just showed the next couple games. And did you see the Ravens? And then they're getting Lamar Jackson back? Like, whew, man. And so it could get bad. And if he's 14-11 going into this offseason and they don't make the playoffs, one, is Aaron Rodgers still ready to play? Like, does he want to do one more year? Like, that's where I'm going with it, because I just don't see an avenue where you feel like that's and sorry, my other answer to that was the other thing they were like is, oh yeah, because they want to see like what they have in JJ McCarthy, and we don't even know what what Max Brosmer can do. You saw him if you saw both of them in college, one was a passer and one was a game manager. The only difference was one went to Minnesota and one went to Michigan. If you flip them, Max Brosmer is up for the Heisman at Michigan. Like, it is what it is. Like, Max Brosmer can throw the ball. And I'm not saying that that's the answer to put him in there. I'm just saying if JJ McCarthy really can't get it done, I'm kind of frustrated with this, then it's time to, like, be honest with what happened. It was a mistake. Maybe it was a gut reaction to the Falcons taking Penix, because Penix looks really good right now. Well, not always, but he looks really good right now sometimes. I just don't know if McCarthy is a passer. That he was never that at Michigan. I thought they were gonna run the crap out the ball when they got Jordan Mason, but I don't know where that went. Like, this offensive line can't get it going. So my thought is it's going to be a quarterback competition. Would have to be going into next season.
Yeah, Reg, 5-5 finish for McCarthy. What do you think?
Yeah. So okay, one of my really close friends and frat brothers, he's from Chicago, and we talk Caleb Williams, and I'm like, hey, Sam, Caleb Williams is mid, and I will hear nothing of it. And he's just like, it's only 24 starts. So he was like, how are you after 24 broadcasts? And I was just like, okay, all right, that's enough.
I was perfect, dude. No mistake.
Is what I think about where I was 24 broadcasts in, and I'm just like, oh, Lord. So I think here's the thing. If you trade up for a guy to go 10th overall, you got to give him some time. He missed all of last year. He missed all that time on task. He wasn't healthy, wasn't upright in order to, like, actually practice. Then he comes in this year, and he needs to be out there on the field. I think it's an accomplishment, honestly, Sam, if he does go 5-5, because that means that he was out there getting actual game reps. And so I think whether or not he goes 5-5 or not, stick with it. You drafted this guy to be the future of the franchise. Yeah, maybe it doesn't look good, but like if the Bears gave up on Caleb Williams after just one season because they were just like, oh yeah, like this is not gonna work. Like, what are we doing? You know, Kevin O'Connell said, you know, organizations fail young quarterbacks more than young quarterbacks fail organizations. This would be his chance to actually prove the fact that what he says is actually real, that he is, you know, believing what he's actually said. And so I think what's interesting is maybe you do try to bring in like an actual veteran quarterback that you could get some games won with. You know, the Carson Wentz experiment is pretty much over. I don't know that they bring him back, but like maybe you bring in, you know, somebody that is he's done some things kind of like a Wentz, but just someone else. And so I think
not
that's
Wolford. Wolford's not the answer there.
Not Wolford. He has started some NFL games before, but yeah, not John. But I think that's what they do. But if McCarthy is able to stay upright and play in the rest of these 10 games of this season, whatever he does, you stick with him. You stick with him. Keep him upright. Then he has a whole offseason to try to get better, another offseason program, another training camp to try to get better. And then, you put him out there next year and hope that he has taken a step. It's so funny when I was telling one of my coworkers earlier this week, when I talked to JJ McCarthy, Juju was there. When I talked to JJ McCarthy for the first time, and I asked him, I said, hey, like, what do you say to the people who think that, Michigan was a running team and, you weren't asked to do much, so you're not a passer? And he's just like, I guess they're going to have to find out. So, like, he has that chip. Like, he knows what the narrative is about him and about him being a game manager, as Ron said. And I think he's eager to prove people wrong. He just has to stay healthy and on the field.
Yeah, the comments are saying, hey, if he plays the 10 games, I'll be surprised. Julia, you got to break the tie here. Ron says QB competition. Reggie says stick with JJ if the 5-5 finish. What do you think?
I think with a 5-5 finish, you have to take yourself back to how the NFL used to work, where it's like, okay, it's basically his rookie season. You picked him this is the highest you've ever picked a quarterback before in your organization. I agree with Reggie that, yes, you have to give him a chance, but I'm going to say I'll split this up a little bit because I always listen,
I'll get you a 12-pack of Celsius if you agree.
I went to Alabama when our quarterback room was Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts, and Mac Jones. And
we're happy for you. Great. It's great.
Yeah. But at the same time, we loved the quarterback competition, and clearly it worked out pretty well for those guys. I'm always a fan of a quarterback competition. I think it only makes quarterbacks better. So, yes, I'm a fan of, don't just hand this guy just because he finishes 5-5. Don't just hand him this team. Give him some competition in there. It's only going to make him better. And if it breaks his spirit, then he's not your guy. I think that's your answer at the end of the day. But I do think, no, you don't give up on him if he finishes out 5-5. I don't think that's because I think it's just unrealistic for you to expect him to be above and beyond considering the circumstances of his entire NFL career so far. So I just think, oh man, that's a tough comment to make. McCarthy trending towards Lance.
But bearded misfit balances it out in comparison.
Can you imagine if the Colts? Yeah, this is my point though too. Is we are living in a day and age where there's been a few rookie quarterbacks that have just excelled in ways that you would never expect in their rookie season, and so I think it's made NFL fans spoiled in a way. And you got to give a guy some time to adjust. And I think that especially when you pick a guy at number 10. You have to give him time to adjust. I mean, otherwise it's like, what kind of standard are you setting as an organization and as a whole team?
Yeah. But here's the thing though, Sam, like just to the commenter's question or whatever response, even though, Peyton Manning struggled. We know that, but Peyton Manning also threw 26 touchdowns. He also had almost 4,000 yards passing. So, because when I got there, I remember the conversation about the 3 wins because Peyton talked about literally he remembered every play from 1998. Like he was a mainframe. And I remember him and Dallas Clark were standing there. We were on the field and Clyde Christensen, like Peyton said, hey, coach, we should run this. We ran this back in 98. And he literally was like, dude, you threw 28 interceptions in 98. Why the heck would I run that? And the 26 and 28, right? That's just like the RG3 30 for 30. The what was the other guy for the Bears? Christian Cavallari's Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler's horrible. Some people, I know Christian Cavallari. I love
the fact that his ex-wife.
Oh yeah, I know her more than him. Like I'm a fan. I like Christian Cavallari. Like all the Bears guys that know me, we always joke about that. Like every time I saw her, I'm like, okay, she's a nice person. Jay Cutler, you're an idiot. But anyway, when you you look at those stats like that, those guys did it later in their career, and that's why it kind of was over for them. Peyton did it they did it later in their career. That's why it was over for them. Peyton did it earlier. JJ McCarthy hasn't done either. Like he and that's what I could say, I guess 14 touchdowns, 11 interceptions to the commenter's point. Yeah, Peyton Manning, but Peyton Manning also was like up for the Heisman. He also was considered the best talent ever. Ryan Leaf, everybody even knew that. They knew Ryan Leaf was the offensive production guy. They knew Peyton Manning won a national championship. like Peerless Price. Like I remember that. Like that was my high school year. Like I loved that Tennessee team in 97. So Peyton was just different. I watched Peyton Manning when I was playing. I watch JJ McCarthy. They are not the same. So the Colts, like there was no reason to give up on Peyton. The Colts as a team sucked. That's why they like got Tony Dungy, because their team sucked. Their culture was bad. Their defense was bad. They were like, that Buccaneers defense is pretty good. I don't know why they fired Tony. Let's get Tony here. And what happened? The Colts won like 10 games. Like they went 10-0 for like 3 or 4 straight years. So again, sorry for the rant, but don't put Peyton Manning and JJ McCarthy in the same conversation. They are not the same. Like Peyton Manning actually threw the ball with confidence. I feel like JJ McCarthy is almost scared at times to make a bad throw. And he misses the easy throw. Like it makes no sense. I don't know. Because like that touchdown, the interception pick six of the Bears should have been a touchdown to Naylor on the corner route. Like if they go zero coverage, you don't throw the out route. You throw the deep ball because there's no safety back there. But again, I don't play quarterback. I know it moves fast. I don't want to put my hands up under a center's butt. So yeah, I'm gonna give him credit for that. Let's wait and see.
We've already got debate. Go ahead, Julia.
Well, I just think, I don't know. To me, correct me if I'm wrong, Reggie. I feel like I don't want to put you in the same basket as me. I was never like sold on JJ McCarthy to begin with. Everyone was talking about, am I right, Reggie? Like,
I agree with you. You're right. Like,
I watched him hand the ball off and
a lot.
Yeah. I mean,
we saw him come into Dinkytown and play against the Gophers. I remember Kwesi was there.
Yep, and KOC.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, all right.
I tweeted it. I actually have a tweet on that day saying KOC and Kwesi are here watching their future quarterback, and everybody in that tweet berated me. Oh, he's not going to be there when the Vikings pick. Well, the Vikings traded up, and they still did it. I was like,
but he handed the ball off to Blake Corum, and I just
a ton. Oh yeah,
yeah, and it's just like I don't know. To me, I feel like I'm going insane because everyone when I would say that, because everyone was so high on JJ McCarthy even before he got drafted, and I would say, I'd be like, I don't really understand. Yeah, do I think JJ's a nice guy? Yeah, sure. Like I think he's a great person, whatever. But I just was never high on him as a quarterback, and now we're seeing this all play out in front of us, and I'm like, I feel like I'm going insane right now. You know?
Yeah, it seemed like JJ was like a second or third round pick or something like that, and then we saw Jim Harbaugh just do like the PR job of his life to pretty much propel him into that first round conversation with some of the other quarterbacks. And I still contend that the Vikings wanted Michael Penix, but the Falcons just kind of usurped them and just like mucked it all up for the plans that they have. I think they wanted Michael Penix. He was going to be there. They signed Kirk Cousins, but they were like, yeah, let's take another quarterback too. We'll take Penix in the draft. And then the Vikings are like, okay, yeah, like it's a free-for-all. It's either McCarthy or Nix, and we're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna take McCarthy. And so I think the tough part about McCarthy is like, I think maybe he was probably a little bit more developmental than anybody wanted to really believe. Like this guy needed a little bit more time on task, but then you take him 10th overall, and then you're like, okay, well, he needs to deliver right away. But I think he kind of needs some more work. When you're in year 2 and you hear the head coach and even the player talk about fundamentals, working on mechanics, and like that stuff seems like elementary, especially, for the quarterback position. And so when you talk about those things, you're like, okay, why are we doing this? And then you look at the product on the field, and then every time Justin Jefferson brings up JJ McCarthy, he always says, yeah, I just want him to play confident. Just be confident out there. Just be confident. Just be confident. And it's like when you say that each and every time you talk about a guy, there's some deficits there that need to be overcome. And I think that's why I say you kind of got to give him some more time to see if he can figure it out. That being said, like he's not afraid of a competition. He was with Cade McNamara at Michigan for the first couple years of his time at Michigan, and ended up, winning that competition. McNamara ends up at Iowa or whatever. So I think he's a, the book is he's a gamer, but that hasn't translated to wins just yet. I think there's still just a lot that he needs to do from a development standpoint that maybe, people don't have the patience for, but they kind of need to because this is his process.
That was no competition with Cade McNamara, by the way. Cade McNamara left. He was hot garbage. He left early. He knew his time was limited. Michigan fans hated him, and Iowa fans hated him. Like, I still wish he was at Iowa, man. Come back to Iowa. Come back. But Reggie, the one thing I did want to say, too, because you made a good point about McCarthy, the one thing that I think everybody is hoping is they saw KOC with Sam Darnold. They said KOC with Cousins. Like, they saw what KOC unlocked in those guys. And I will say that, hopefully, because we saw the passes to Roman Wilson at Michigan. Hopefully, KOC, like Sam Darnold, what's his name? Carson Wentz. Hopefully, Carson Wentz letting his arm fall off in order to let J.J. McCarthy have one more week to kind of get his mind right. I hope this is the path. Like, I hope we can go back and look at this and J.J. McCarthy throws 10 touchdowns, 1 interception, and we can go back and say, Carson Wentz, let's put that shoulder on a trophy. Like, we're going to put that in front of U.S. Bank Stadium. This is going to be a picture of his arm, like Will Smith in I Am Robot. Like, the whole left arm is now robotic, and we're going to put that up there for him because, like, you sacrificed your entire shoulder and your arm. You can't even hold your kids no more, but J.J. McCarthy got better.
That ankle got 100%. We still have 2 scenarios left, and the debate is always fierce. And the next 2 scenarios are juicier than the first. Next on the Squad Show. We're brought to you today by Mazda. Mazda crafts cars for those who do more than simply move. Mazda delivers confidence with every single ride with more IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus awards than anyone else. From footwork to breathwork, athletes sweat all the details. J.J. McCarthy's working on that footwork as we speak. Mazda brings this same intention to how we craft every model. You can feel the Japanese craftsmanship in every detail. It's the metallic accents. It's the available Napa leather upholstery. Make everyday drives feel like anything but. Going to the grocery store? Mazda. Going to Chipotle? Mazda. Smooth handling, intuitive controls. Like our players, we sweat every detail because when you make every move count, impossible becomes irrelevant. Mazda. Move and be moved. Diving right back in here on the Squad Show. Ron, Julia, Reggie, I'm Sam Ekstrom. Okay, Reggie, I'm going to test your patience theory. Be patient, you're saying. Scenario 2 is J.J. McCarthy is bad. J.J. McCarthy is, for 10 games, not a good quarterback. And, in fact, the record, whether let's say it's 2-8, 3-7, the Vikings just give him the duration of the season. They let it act as sort of a test case, right, the developmental period, and he does not do well. And the Vikings get a top 10 pick as a result. They finish 6-11, 5-12, whatever it might be. Would you still preach patience in that scenario, especially if there's a top 10 pick facing you in the draft with quarterbacks available?
Yeah. I think that's the thing. Kevin O'Connell said it. Organizations fail young quarterbacks, so like you gotta stick with it. Try to equip him with the tool. You're the QB whisperer. You've done it with all these, reclamation quarterbacks. Now you finally have this young quarterback that's like clay that you can mold. Figure it out, and get him into like playing. At least help him be a game manager like he was at Michigan. And, he's got all these weapons. It's hard to think about a quarterback just being so bad when he has all these weapons like Addison, Jefferson, Hawkinson, Naylor, even Adam Thielen's coming back. Like, it's just tough to think that he would be someone who would just not be able to figure it out, especially with, the assets around him, Kevin O'Connell, Wes Phillips, Josh McCown. Like, you would hope that as he continues to move on, he would figure it out. And if he's bad, I'm sorry, you got to stick with him. You traded up 10th overall to take this guy. You got to stick with him. I think, you have Max Brosmer there if you need to pull the plug next season after 3 or 4 games, and you know what Max can do, put him in there if it just continues not to get better. But I think it's going to get better. Call me an optimist, I guess, but I just think it's going to get better. I just think he needs more time. And as long as he's healthy, even if he's bad, you kind of got to give him a chance to work through it.
Yeah, Julia, I feel like I know where you'd lean on this because you were already on the fence at 5-5. At 2-8 or whatever, you're probably saying, pull the plug. It's just an interesting situation because would you start over with another rookie the next year? That seems a little unlikely too. That means you're probably going back to a veteran quarterback if you wanted to move on. But how would you approach that if it's just an objective, terrible 10 games?
I mean, I would throw this back to Ron's point from earlier about seeing if Aaron Rodgers has one more year in him. And I also, I have sources.
Ayahuasca is legal. No, it's not. It's not.
Well, I mean, I have spoken to people within the organization that said everyone wanted Aaron Rodgers. They, the majority of the team was so excited at the rumors that were swirling about Aaron Rodgers coming to the Vikings, because they were concerned about JJ McCarthy. And I don't think that that's out of the question, but I do think, I don't know. I'm still on the fence a little bit about it too, because I think you give the guy 2-8's pretty bad. But I think you give him a shot at the next season. And I do agree with Reggie in saying if the first couple games are not great, it's but it's so tough because, and this is why I'm not in these positions. This is why I don't make these decisions, but you have to figure something else out. But I think that at least, through training camp, you see how things are panning out for him. Because let's be honest, I mean, JJ McCarthy didn't look super awesome at training camp either. So it's not like this was, I don't think this was new for us that we're out there every single day watching him, that we were like, oh, he looks so amazing. And now these 2 games that he's played, he's not so great anymore. It was never that. It wasn't like, oh, he's going to go in and be awesome. So I just think I wouldn't be, if he ends up 2-8, I would not be surprised if they look for a veteran somewhere. Because also that seems to be Kevin O'Connell's bread and butter too, is finding these old washed up, quote unquote, guys that maybe it looks like their career's not going so great, and then he turns it around. And I don't know what it is that separates the two, because I'm not a quarterback whisperer myself, but I wouldn't be shocked if they went that direction if things went horribly wrong for JJ McCarthy for the rest of the season.
Ron, it requires organizational commitment to have patience like that. Everybody would have to be on the same page because of their own job security, right? Kwesi would have to be okay with being patient with a quarterback that just went 2-8. KOC would have to be okay with it. The Wilfs would have to be okay with it. The stakeholders in the team, there are a lot of voices. When your quarterback struggles and he's young and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, it is hard to stick with that course of action, even if you had the best intentions. That's why I think if it goes badly these next 10, I think it opens the door to, and I think everything's on the table at that point. What do you think? He's muted. Ron's muted.
2-8. So again, I got to go with the Peyton Manningisms, right? It's the stats. What do the stats look like? Because honestly, wins and losses, even though it is a quarterback stat, it's not a quarterback stat. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw the tweet about Tua Tagovailoa. They said when the FBI started investigating point shaving, Tua now all of a sudden can find receivers in the end zone.
With one eye, no less.
Oh my God.
So he stopped throwing interceptions for FanDuel points. But when you think about the team, it's the team though too, right? So we can't just say if the defense is not top 10, if they're giving up, if their third downs are bottom half of the NFL or bottom quarter of the NFL, if their second and long efficiency is just absolute. Because look at the Vikings, and I say that because I looked at it. Look at the Vikings second and long. They're allowing teams to get into 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 way too much. It's almost like second and long. They treat it like 3rd and long, like they're just trying to stop for the punt. And it's no, second and long, you attack. It's like blood in the water to a shark. And it's almost like they're playing like guppies at times. They're not attacking when they have a wounded animal. And I can't put that all on the quarterback. But 2-8. You look at the stats. Again, if he were 26 for 20, if he threw 26 touchdowns and 20 interceptions, I think we'd be fine. I would be like, oh my God. But I think I would be okay with it. I would be like, at least the guy is taking chances, and KOC has tried to throw 50 something. Just think about that. 26 and 20. Oh my God. Tried to throw touchdowns, tried to make plays, tried to get the 3,700 yards. You're like, you know what? Yeah, man, this guy got it. Like if this kid throws for 2,000, I'd say 2,500 yards in the next 10 games, right? That's 250 yards a game, give or take. 220, maybe a 300-yard game here. Also, remember, though, Peyton Manning has some 300, 400-yard games in that stretch. So what does his games look like? Because we keep bringing that back to, like, he was a handoff manager at Michigan. Penn State, they did not throw the ball, and it was 9 men in the box. Like, you have to really not have confidence in your quarterback against a tough defense and say, y'all got 9 in the box. Let me bring in a 10th offensive lineman. Like, what? Like, that's how we're going to play this? We're going to bring in 10 offensive linemen. We're going to have a running back and a quarterback. That's it. Like, 10 offensive linemen and your 10 offensive linemen and your quarterback's going to quarterback sneak for the first. Like, there was nothing in that team at Michigan where they felt like, and maybe it was Sharon Moore. We know Harbaugh was, I don't know if you guys remember, Harbaugh was suspended for cheating. But, and I mean, how much of that Michigan, like figuring out the plays, the coverages, was how much of that was scouting? Like, how much did JJ McCarthy benefit from knowing exactly what the defense was going to be in? Like, I don't know. Like, that's another thing we never thought about either.
Yeah. I want to get to the juiciest of the 3 scenarios here, because this one is the one that will test the offseason decision-making the most of all. Ron, you're going to love this one. I think let's start with Julia this time. Julia, if JJ McCarthy in the next 6 games goes 4-2, and he's good, he is exactly what you pictured, and then he gets hurt, and he's out for the year. It could be an ankle, it could be a shoulder. I don't know. It's not going to be an ACL. It'll be something that ends his season. It's his 3rd injury in 2 years. Max Brosmer comes in. Brosmer leads them into the playoffs, starts and wins a playoff game. So you get good play from McCarthy, you get good play from Brosmer, and he wins a playoff game. Then how do you approach the offseason?
And then JJ McCarthy.
Diabolical.
Is JJ McCarthy healthy for the next season?
Yeah. He'll be fine. He'll be back. And we've got the Purdy. We've got the Purdy dilemma.
I think we have to have more information about how well.
You don't have more information. You don't have more information. That's all I'm giving you.
How am I supposed to make a decision here? Because if there are different things that Max is doing well compared to what JJ is doing well, are we saying JJ performed better than Max? Max just finished out the season and won those games?
Okay, I'll give you more clarity. They played exactly the same, but Max Brosmer won a playoff game. He loses the next playoff game, but he wins a playoff game, and statistically, on a per game basis, he's just the same guy as JJ McCarthy.
I think that I might be biased here because I'm a Max Brosmer fan, but if he wins a playoff game for you and this team's been searching for a playoff win for this long, you got to start him the next season. That's just my thoughts. I know you've invested in this guy who's your first round draft pick, but at the end of the day, Max Brosmer does well. Even then, he's still less expensive than JJ. I mean, I would keep Max Brosmer around and start him.
Yeah. Ron?
So the playoff win, or playoff loss or win? Sorry, I missed that part.
He wins the wild card game. He wins a wild card
playoff
game.
Win.
They run into like the Eagles or something and lose in the division round.
I mean, honestly, like, here's the problem with Minnesota. We've seen this before. We've seen that story before. Like, we've always seen the backup maybe get that done, and they never stick with the backup. Like and again, I don't know if Case Keenum was the answer. We knew Kirk Cousins was a good choice. Sam Darnold did not win a playoff game though, right? His first playoff game he lost.
No, he got sacked 28 times.
Yeah. Oh man, that's tough. So I'm you know what? I'm gonna just say if he wins a playoff game, man, like you go with Max Brosmer. Like I think you do, and it's his job to lose at that point. Like I would be okay with that. Like I don't think a fan. Now here's the thing: fans are gonna be pissed off about. Well, okay, we draft this guy, trade him.
Yeah,
Like
get rid of it.
trade him. Like look at Brock Purdy. You know what I mean?
You got
Like
someone cheaper you can keep around.
people thought the same thing, and then look at Brock Purdy. Like I would say Max Brosmer, and then you trade him for. The problem is though, once you bench him, can you even trade him at that point for anything? Like besides what was Trey Lance, like a 5th round pick is what he got traded for. So
Right.
does I mean, we did say he's headed to. Somebody said that, one of the commenters said he's headed for Trey Lance territory. Like if he does get traded, it's a 5th, 6th round pick at that point.
Better than
Yeah.
a sharp stick in the eye.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. Like I still like I like the thought of like, because I look at Aaron Rodgers with the Steelers, but somebody else said this too about the tweet. Would any of those quarterbacks do that behind this offensive line? Like behind this center, not the Kelly, but Juergens or whoever or Brandel. Like, would they do this behind this offensive line? And that's the other thought. Is like you're kind of right there. Like it's not the best option for some of this stuff. Because I did the run game stuff for the Eagles, and if you watched the Eagles, the way their center can reach the cocked nose, so one shaded over, he can reach him on the front side without having a double team help, which means now that guard doesn't have to help and he can just go straight to the linebacker. And that's why Saquon Barkley gets so many yards. I don't even think the Vikings center half the time knows who he's supposed to block. Like he jumps the wrong way and then he gets beat on the front side. Like it's just like, what? Like, are you guessing or do you have an idea? I just think the quarterbacks too are being subjected to terrible offensive line play at times. In the middle, the tackles have been good, but in the middle, it's been kind of other than Fries, it's been kind of shaky when Donovan Jackson was out. It just hasn't gone the way Kwesi and KOC wanted with the injuries though too. So
everyone's been hurt. The tackles have bad knees right now. It's a mess on the offensive line. Quick one, Reg, and then we'll move on to the Lions.
Yeah, I'll just be quick. If Brosmer wins a playoff game, full stop. He's the guy. You just KO. He's gotten them to the playoffs a couple times, and they've gotten pants down spanked. If he wins a playoff game for you, you got to ride the hand until the hand is not hot anymore.
That's the scenario that will be so juicy if Brosmer comes in and does well. Just waiting for that.
I would like to see it.
I would too.
It would be great. It would be so fun. The only one who really popped in the preseason. I mean, really popped. A lot of potential there. And I think AOC sees it too. He just doesn't want to admit it. Let's get to some Lions discussion, why they've owned the Vikings, and what the path is to an upset win on Sunday. But first, a word from Gametime. NFL season is here. There's still some great home games on the Vikings schedule. Ravens coming in a couple weeks. You can see Lamar in person. Like, this happens sometimes once in a quarterback's career. If they're in the AFC, they might come to US Bank Stadium one time. Like Patrick Mahomes might go his whole career play at US Bank Stadium one time. So you can get tickets on Gametime. You can, skip the queues and the login screens and the prices jumping at checkout. None of that frustrating stuff. Use Gametime and take the advantage back with 100% authentic tickets delivered on time at the best price. Fees included. What you see is what you pay. Super simple app. Get the panoramic view from your seat. You know exactly what you're getting with great transparency. Faster, cheaper, less stressful than other ways to buy tickets. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDON NFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Gametime today. Squad Show is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Let's do a little speed round. And Ron, I want you to start with a path to victory answer about how the Vikings win this game. They're 8.5-point underdogs. Give me a minute and tell me what the Vikings' pathway is to pulling this off.
Against the Lions?
Against the Lions.
So JJ McCarthy is familiar with this, right? You find somebody to go to the Lions practice, film it, find out what their calls are, and then you bring that back to Minnesota. And then you have another coach on the sideline with cards. And every time the Lions make a hand signal, that coach holds up a card. And then that tells the quarterback what the coverage is going to be and if it's a potential blitz. And defensively, same thing. You say, okay, they're going 3 wides. This is when they like to throw seam routes. That's the only way. I mean, honestly, that's where I think the path to victory.
Wasn't Ron like a huge JJ McCarthy go-getter?
I was, but I'm very pissed off right now. Your name is Julia. I don't know what I was going to call you.
His love for Brosmer has soured him.
You know what? It's the Minnesota weather, I think, that's bringing me down. Like I didn't see sun this morning when I got up at 6 a.m. I didn't see sun. I dropped my daughter off at 7:20. Normally, I can see the sun. I still didn't see the sun. Like I did not like dropping my daughter off at school in the dark. Like that's not fun. Like it feels dark. And how can an 11-year-old get happy about being in school and it's dark
time
outside?
Changes next week.
I'm so sick of this.
Next week, time changes.
Which means it's dark later, right? Isn't it dark longer in the morning? Oh, it means it gets lighter.
No. More light in the morning, and then it gets dark at 5, which is equally as depressing, Ron.
Equally as depressing, because now softball practices at night. We got to turn the lights on earlier. Like, I just don't want to do it. And why do we set the clocks back? Like, it's so frustrating. Oh, man. But I think also my tweet, Sam, when I tweeted about, like, Vikings fans, how'd you guys grow up with this? I think all the people's responses, like, really brought me down. Like, I felt so bad for the responses. It's at like 90,000 views right now. And it was a simple tweet just to tell people to stop worrying about the quarterbacks that aren't here. And people are like going through it of like, I grew up like this. I don't have a heart anymore. I'm numb to it. I'm so sick of it. So I don't know, Sam. Like, this run game is so good. The pass game is so on time. The defense gets after your tail. Like, honestly, like, the offensive line has to play damn near perfect for them to be able to stick with the Lions. The Lions are hitting on all cylinders right now, and they're getting pieces of their puzzle back. Like, I don't know, Sam. I don't like you asked me almost an impossible question. I am doing the film study today, though, so I just got a text from the Vikings about, hey, let us know because we're going on the road trip, so we're trying to get out of here Friday because some of the people go down early to set up the hotel and stuff. But when I look at the film, maybe I'll have an answer tomorrow, Sam, when I come on the squad show. But like right now, I really don't see a path to victory. Like you have to play, like he has to have a 158.3 passer rating. There you go. That's the path. Like he has to be in the 130 to 150 range with his passer rating to be able to hang with Jared Goff. Because Jared Goff goes like 16 for 16 to start a lot of his games. Like he'll go 8 for 8 to start a game. Like he's just because they don't put him in harm's way and he reads the defense perfectly. I don't know, but Michigan did cheat. Maybe Detroit was doing it too. I don't know. Maybe it's a Detroit thing.
Detroit has scored against Flores. They've scored 30, 30, 31, 31.
Why do you have to bring the truth into this, Sam? Like we don't need the truth.
The truth is not controversial. The Vikings insist on blitzing Goff, Reggie. Like they do it repeatedly and repeatedly get burned. So this has to be the game, I think, where the interior D-line has to have its finest moment. They have to be able to get pressure without bringing the house because Jared Goff it'll be Amon-Ra in the flat, Jamison Williams over the middle, Sam Laporta down the seam. It'll just be carving you apart if you insist on blitzing this guy. He's not been great under pressure this year, but you got to get that pressure with your front. I don't think you can bring a lot of extra pressure. I think B-Flow's got to have some restraint in this game, and you got to get your money's worth from Hargrave and Allen and Jalen Redmond, who has given you your money's worth. But that's how I think the Vikings stay in this game. Reggie, what do you got?
So I'm a Christian, Sam. So
you're praying. Ron's cheating. You're praying.
Yeah, I think the fasting starts today. You start fasting and you pray and you just pray without ceasing. And if the Lord hears their cry enough, 1-5 against the Lions in KO's time. And that one win happened his first season in Minnesota as Vikings head coach when they had some things cooking.
Barely.
And yes, and since then, the Lions have just spanked them every time. And so you pray. That's really all you can do. You start naming all those weapons, and I just was like, oh, it was like you're giving body blows. You're like Laporta and Brown. St. Brown, Jameson
Didn't even
Williams,
mention Sonic and
Gibbs,
Knuckles. Yeah, the 1-2
David
punch.
Montgomery. It's just like, just trying to keep up with them, seeing what the Vikings offense looked like with JJ McCarthy the last time he was on the field. You got to pray and fast. Start today.
Turn your books to Philippians. Philippians 4:13 has the answer for you. They can do all things through Christ. That's where we got to go with this.
Amen. Pass the collection plate. Take up a special offering.
And Philippians 4:12 says, I've lived with and I will live without. And through it all, I knew that the Lord had my back. And the reason I say that is they live with 5 healthy offensive linemen. They've lived with 2 healthy offensive linemen. I don't know if the quarterback can, you need Christ. I don't know if anybody else can keep you safe back there in the trenches. Because it's not the blitz pickup. It's not the blitz pickup.
Yeah, Julia, anything aside from divine intervention that can lead to a win here?
It's just Dan Campbell, this team plays bully ball, which automatically means that they set the entire tone for their matchups because they're the one that's going to come in and be aggressive. And then everyone else just has to figure out how to react to that. And once teams figure that out, once Kevin O'Connell decides maybe we should play a little more bully ball and a little less finesse, then maybe they can get a win. But I'm a Christian as well. But I don't got a lot of faith in the Vikings this weekend. And I'm praying for them headed into this matchup because it's going to be a tough one.
FanDuel locks when we come back, and we'll tell you who won their bet from last week.
I'm Cody Rourke from Locked On Broncos, and this episode is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus powered by Peloton IQ. This is Peloton's most advanced equipment yet, giving you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or you're cross-training with your favorite instructors like Alex Toussaint. It's training reimagined to make your workout more personal. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with features that help you plan, stay motivated, and hit peak performance. You can let yourself run, lift, flex, and go while Peloton handles all the rest. Plus, Peloton IQ provides real-time strength coaching, tracking your progress and suggesting weights that challenge you so you can get stronger. Plus, the new movement tracking camera, it counts your reps and corrects your form in real time, making sure every rep is safer and smarter. So let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
Thanks to Cody Rourke for that. We end every show with FanDuel locks. Ron Johnson in a dreadful Thursday game. We all picked Vikings to do stuff on offense, and somehow you won. Somehow you got the lone touchdown, Jordan Addison touchdown, and you cashed plus 195. Well done.
It was the L.A. Kush. You
knew Jordan Addison going home to L.A. You knew that was going to work out for him. Good for you.
Julia, you know about that.
Why does Julia know about it?
Because she's young. That's the young kids talk. The Burberry Kush out there,
God.
It's
Julia,
legal, people. It's legal.
Give me a lock. Give me a lock.
Sam's like, move on.
Please.
What's interesting is touchdown scorers. It's that they even have listed is Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jefferson, and Sam Laporta. So it's just Justin Jefferson out of the top 5 that they have listed.
Top 6.
That's 5.
All Lions. No, it's top 6 are all Lions. There's only one, and there's Jamison Williams is in there too.
Oh, I didn't click down on that.
You don't see another Viking until 7.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Okay, sorry. This before you go, Julia. This is a funny one. The Detroit Lions defense has a better anytime scorer number than JJ McCarthy and Jalen Naylor.
Dang.
Like, what are we doing? Like, they're not even giving him a QB push or nothing. Like, my goodness,
Unreal.
That is bad.
All right, I'm going to go Jahmyr Gibbs first touchdown score plus 370.
Gibbs first TD plus 370. Reggie.
Dude, it has to happen at some point. Like, Justin Jefferson anytime plus 175. Like, get him back in the end zone. It's been since week 1.
Does it?
I was thinking about that one because he's a Detroit killer.
good.
He's had his best games against the Lions.
Their
So I was thinking
secondary's
about that
beat
one.
up too. Yeah, that people aren't talking much about that. They do get Brian Branch back.
They get Brian Branch back, but he might punch somebody early and leave again.
Yeah, I was gonna say he might do something reactive.
I kind of
Ron,
want to
what
go
do
to
you
the Detroit defense for anytime touchdown scorer plus 490. JJ McCarthy's first time back, first series out, pick 6.
Picks.
You know what? I'm gonna be positive again. The casinos in Detroit, the players are not allowed to go to it, so the Vikings players will be nice and rested. I'm gonna ride it. I'm gonna ride it again. I'm gonna go Jordan Addison because I think the Lions defense is gonna have eyes on him. And honestly, think about the last time we played the Lions, right? At the Lions. Everybody was complaining about the plays Sam Darnold missed, but they didn't realize that those weren't the plays. It was double moves. So I hope in this chess match, Kevin O'Connell realizes I don't need to run a 7-step drop or 5-step hitch throw, double move in the red zone. Jordan Addison will be wide open on the first move, the slant, throw it, and let him get to the end zone. So I'm gonna go Jordan Addison.
Addison TD again. He's going to ride that hot hand. I'm thinking JJ McCarthy hesitant to run. Kevin O'Connell hesitant to draw up designed runs. I'm taking under 19.5 rushing yards for JJ McCarthy. He's going to stay in that pocket or he's going to be throwing the ball away. He's suffered 2 injuries trying to run the football. That's got to get in your head. So I think it's going to take a bit for him to use the wheels again. We're running a little behind, so we're calling it here on the Squad Show. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Comment section on fire today. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for subscribing to Locked On Vikings. Over 10K subscribers now. Check out Luke Braun's daily show, Locked On Vikings, 30 minutes, your daily dose of Vikings talk. Care 11 with Julia Daniels and Reggie Wilson, the Ron Johnson Show with Ron Johnson. And I'm Sam Ekstrom. Appreciate everyone tuning in, and we will talk to you tomorrow once again on the Squad Show.